Good evening, I'm Zaraganat and welcome to my studio. Welcome to the stream this evening. Right, oh dear, been a busy day. I have got in not so long ago, managed to get some tea. In the meantime stripped down 6 hard disks and extracted the platters from some of them and leapt into the stream. So, bit of a busy evening I'm afraid. So I'm doing some more of this. I haven't had the opportunity to prep for anything else. I've got some design work still to do on the bracelet before I can do that, and I've got nothing that comes to immediate mind to do more pyrography with, other than potentially another Hearthstone card perhaps. And I've got one around that I was looking at doing, one with a dragon on it. Where's that picture? There it is. So I was thinking potentially of doing that. Having done Ruth the Dragon, seemed like a reasonable thing to do another dragon. So I might do that one. That's a possibility. But just for the minute, that I wasn't in a position to start that tonight. So we are again going dotty with magic. These dots, black magic dots. So it'll kind of be a sort of a chill stream because of that, I guess, hopefully. Somewhat relaxed. Well, I must admit, I was rather surprised by how well I did the last pyrography and how quickly as well. Normally, I only do that in 3 streams. Normally, I think it was 3 streams. Normally that would take me about 10. I've suddenly got a lot better. So I don't know quite where I got abducted to, I guess, and had my speed improved. When you have me said, which I suppose I could have got some sewing out, some cross stitch out, but that kind of needed sort of setting up as well. So this was ready to go, and I do want to finish this. So it's a good thing to get on with. Hopefully, well, maybe, I'm not sure about tomorrow. I know tomorrow's another really busy day. I'm likely to have another late evening as well before the stream. So again, I may well be doing this again tomorrow. Nice thing about these kits, they are very easy to set up. Very easy to do as well. I do not have to worry about shadings and things like that. It's all done for me. Right. And today is Sunday. Yeah. I'm on holiday from work. That is, all week. I think I will, however, easily before the end of the week, we're looking forward to going back to work for a rest. Because I know what I've got to do in the next couple of days or so, a few days, and that's quite a lot of heavy manual work. So I am going to be looking forward to that stopping. But I am also hoping that this work will just need to carry on for a couple of days, and then the rest of the week will be free. I may even get I'm not promising by the way, but I may get the opportunity to stream during the day. Somehow I don't think so, but you never know. It's a possibility. Right, not long till Christmas now, and we get the Christmas episode of Doctor Who and see the new Doctor. It's going to be an interesting episode, a complete change for the series. It's going to be interesting to see how the fans react. Actually, I was half listening to an interview this morning, and I caught a little bit of it. It was Christopher Eccleston in the UK on Radio 2. Had an interview, and he was at one point talking about Doctor Who. Right, 2 more rows and then that's a big chunk of this, and carry on going. Wonder if I can finish all this number 5 in this stream. Would be nice if I can. Yeah, cup of tea. The important stuff. Right, so if anybody that's watching, welcome to the studio. This is Magic Dots. Not something I do from time to time, as it's quite an easy thing to get set up. Doesn't require any concentration. So if I'm feeling particularly tired, I will do this. Or if I'm quite late to a stream, I may do this if I've not got anything else ready to go. At the moment, I've just finished a pyrographic piece, a portrait, which was a commission. I've got to take another look at it. It is finished, but I'm leaving it a couple of days, and then I'll take another look at it just to decide if I was right or not. Sometimes you need a little bit of time away from working on something to see whether the decision you made was right or wrong. Often, or usually, it is right. Even if it's wrong, it's right. It's always a good thing to say, yes, this is finished. This can often be one of the hardest things to do. So always to be encouraged when you can do it. But just in case I've missed anything, I'll take another look at that with fresh eyes a little bit later on, another day or so. But I didn't have another pyrographic piece ready to go. I might, as I mentioned earlier, do a pyrographic card from another Hearthstone card, and or maybe not. I do have another piece of jewellery that I need to complete, which is a bracelet, a bead woven bracelet, or bracelet woven out of beads. But I've got some design work to do on that first. There's some cat silhouettes to go onto it, and I've got to get that design laid out before I can actually go ahead and start sewing or bead weaving. But other than that, what else? Nothing else particularly on the cards at the moment that I'm especially inspired to go ahead and do. I've got another coffee jar to engrave at some point. that's a possibility. So on this stream we do lots of things, so if you haven't seen before, let me give you a rundown of some of the things. So I mentioned pyrography a moment ago, also wood carving, principally relief carving as it's called. There is something called punchcraft, which is a bit like making miniature ropes. Then I've already mentioned sort of jewellery, the bead weaving, but there's chainmail or ring weaving as well. And then there's another one called scraper board, which is the board that you scrape, surprisingly enough, and produce a picture from that. That's also another thing, that's a craft that's available and we've done on stream, and at some point you will, on the right hand side somewhere around the middle there, just above the blue box, see lots of pictures. All of those pictures are things which have been made on stream, and you'll see some of the pyrography, you'll see some of the other pieces like the scraper board as well. You'll see more of the jewellery just because jewellery is actually quicker to make. Something like a scraper board can take several hours or a few streams, as can the carving and most of the other crafts. So the scraper board is, sorry, the jewellery is actually the quickest craft. And I kind of do them as I feel motivated to do them. Pyrography at the moment is kind of the favourite, just because it doesn't cost a lot, shall I say. There's not a lot of spare cash at the moment, and using it to buy materials to stream with is not a good use of it at the moment. So with the pyrography I do have quite a bit of wood stockpiled, and quite a lot of it is practice at wood, I call it, which is hardboard, but actually also does produce a nice image without needing to colour the background, which is a bonus in some cases. And I've got some birch plywood as well, so having the fact that I've got quite a bit of that lying around, shall we say, that's probably the favourite rather than buying other materials at this moment in time, but hopefully that will change soon. In the meantime, I'm doing this. Magic dots. These are little plastic domes, the top of which has been faceted, very much like a diamond would be, cut in facets. And what that means is it sparkles. So if I just move this slightly, you should see the sparkle. And as you walk past it, you get that effect. So it's quite an interesting thing to see from that perspective. You know, it's so the trick, what you're doing here then is just using this pink tool in this particular case to, I guess it was aimed at girls and women with pink. Doesn't bother me. You pick the dots up with this tool, and this canvas that's in front of me has been pre-treated with glue. So I'm just putting them down, and the glue is contact adhesive, so on contact it sticks and holds the dots down. The design is pre-printed on there, and what you've got is, it's in little circles or squares, each with a number or a letter in them. On the side here there's a translation between the letters that you see and the actual packet number in which the dots are, so the different coloured packets. Black that I'm doing here, there's a grey here just off to one side that you can see, and there's other colours like, you know, you can see the ones that I've already done. So it's just a case of I'm working with black, which is number 5, so I'm looking for all the number 5s on the design, most of which they have helpfully coloured with a black background, and every time I see one I cover it with a dot. So quite simple really, and rather sort of restful, therapeutic I guess is another way of describing it. But you do end up sort of playing games like, you know, just finish the row off, or just make it a square block, or, you know, do that sort of thing. Just fill in that particular area. And so it's sort of a semi-competitive thing. You're competing against against yourself, to just fill in certain things. Something probably to do with the human sort of need to see patterns, I guess. So I don't know if anybody's ever seen a pick and place machine. It's using electronics for putting components onto a circuit board. I kind of feel like a human version of that doing this. Picking up a dot and putting it in place on a board in front of me, or in this case a canvas in front of me. And there's two ways up for these dots, dome up and flat bottom up. You want it dome up, and so you've got to pick the right ones out of the tray here to my right, and occasionally you'll see me dropping or tapping the tray. That's to get them all to jump up and down, and some of them to flip over, so they are flat side down, and I can then pick them up easily with this tool and just drop them. Well, place them onto the canvas. Now, if you're like me, you look at this and go, oh, that should only take you about 20 minutes. Let me give you an idea. I think I've been doing this now for about 8 or 9 streams, each of which are about 2 hours long. It takes longer than it looks. A lot longer than it looks. It has totally surprised me as to how long it is taking to complete this. Mind you, there are probably tens of thousands of dots on here. I haven't counted them, but it certainly wouldn't surprise me if it was well into the tens, probably and possibly even the hundreds, thousands of dots, which I guess makes the fact that I've been doing this for sort of 8 to 10 hours perfectly sort of reasonable. In fact, I think it's longer than that. I think I said 8 or 9 streams, didn't I? So that's probably 19 to 20 hours. Your pattern recognition, your eyesight gets a bit of a test out doing this, because you are looking for the ones that are the correct way up for you to just grab, and to fairly accurately place the tool right over the top of them. So you certainly get a lot of good hand-eye coordination out of doing this. And I've just dropped out a sequence there. Right, flip a few more over. I'm not going to go mad with trying to get them all flipped over in this particular case, because I need to get some more out anyway. So it's not like I'm trying to, you know, use up the few that are here without getting any more out. I'm going to be a bit careful of is I don't get my shirt continuously touching the glue down here, because if I do that I'll gradually make that glue non-sticky. In fact, what I'm going to do is flip this the other way around, flip it sideways that way, and we'll work sideways for a while. There's less unpopulated stuff around here, so I should have less chance of dragging my sleeve over the glue. Let's get a few more black out. Remembering that both ends of this pack are open. That was a mistake of mine. And that's black dots shot all over the place. I'm going to be careful I don't get into this glue that's on here. They're quite difficult to get off, otherwise, if they do. Okay, these three that are left happen to be the right way up, so I might as well pick them up with a tool and use them. So you don't have to do this in any particular order. You can do any colour at any time. You could get all the colours out if you really wanted to and sort of do one from each. Do them in blocks, do different sections, do a line, however you want to do it. It's entirely up to you. If you want to do every alternate one, you can do every alternate one. That's upside down, I got that wrong. Okay, so I've gone quiet again. Ah, dear. So what should we talk about now? Just so that you don't get bored hearing the same thing about this particular piece again, or this particular art form again. I know this last night at about this time we were talking about blinking lights, but I think I've already said that story once, so I'm not going to do that again. Tales from the archives, eh? It's effectively what it was from a long time ago. Back before Windows existed. And Windows, yeah, I used the Windows version 1. I can't remember much about it now. I've got a feeling you could only have one window open at a time, but I can't actually remember. And I can remember Windows 386 when it launched, and that was that let you do multitasking. And potentially you could have more than one window active at the time. I can't actually remember much back there, but I do remember working with Windows 1. in Windows 386. And now we're at Windows 10. And I'm hoping my computer stopped blue screening. Since this fall update, it was blue screening every time it resumed from sleep. Isn't good. I think I might have cured it. I guess I will find out more in the morning when I come down. See whether the backups have worked okay and whether or not it's rebooted. Hopefully it hasn't, because one of the things I did tonight is I was using an audio remapper, which I actually didn't need to. I was originally using it to try and remap the audio from OBS, because one of the things that I've got is going into OBS, all the sound sources are separate sources. So the music that you're hearing is, and that I'm hearing, is a separate source. Its feed into OBS is different to the feed into the speakers that's coming out for me to hear here. I mean, you might possibly be getting a little bit of an echo down the microphone, but what I've got is I've got a direct feed from the application straight into OBS. So OBS is taking a clean feed at a constant volume. So even if I adjust the system speakers, I don't actually need to adjust the volume in OBS, which is partly why I did it. And also it means that in OBS I can actually record this track separate to the voice track. So if I wanted to, in a recorded video, and I had the software that would do it, I can substitute the music track without affecting anything else. Or I can substitute the audio track, because the microphone's on its own track as well. And when I record it, the microphone's separate to the audio, to the music track. Which makes it, potentially could make things easier in the future, once I find some software that will handle multi-track editing. There's only one piece of software that I've come across that does that, and that was a DVD mastering software, and it won't handle any of the outputs from OBS, unfortunately. And I'm not going to go through a transcoding exercise in order to be able to do it. So then the other thing is anything like the alerts that come up when somebody follows, for example, or donates or subscribes, then those alerts are played within OBS. OBS is running its own browser window, and the alerts therefore coming from the OBS browser window, which is part of OBS. Now at one point those were going out to the system speakers, which meant the alerts didn't get recorded, which was not particularly ideal. I could, and they also what I then had to do was capture the system audio in order to be able to feed the alerts into the outgoing stream. But if I did that, it then picked up the audio from the music, and you got an echo. Which wasn't particularly ideal, and if you get any of the Windows pings, pops and whatever going on, and Katana doing sorts of, her popping up and saying things, all of that would go into the stream as well, and I didn't want that. So I disabled the system audio into OBS, but I still needed the alerts. Now earlier on I'd used, and there's a way to solve that, because OBS itself did not appear to have a way of saying, okay, I don't want my own sound to go to the system speakers, I want it to go to a particular device. And there didn't seem to have been a way to do that, so I found a piece of software on the internet which I trusted enough, and it had been able to drag the audio into the device that I wanted it, so remapped it without telling the system, kind of thing, in a sneaky way. But I think that was what was since the fall update. I think that's what was causing or may have been causing the issue, because I sort of worked out earlier today that I probably didn't need that software, because what seemed to be happening is OBS was putting the sound out, its own sound out, through a monitor output, which by default is set at the system speakers, but I switched it to a different device and I could hear it on that device. And then because that seems to get the pings from the alerts, for example, then what I did was capture that particular device in OBS. And so hopefully that deals with OBS, and hopefully then I don't need this other mapping software. And hopefully that was the cause of the crash, and it will work successfully. I took that software offline earlier this evening and immediately put the machine to sleep, and then started it up again, and it started up with no problems. So, but there again, every other time when I've put it to sleep, it's been asleep for several hours before it started up, and that may not make any difference unless it's being caused when it hibernates. When you first sleep a PC, it keeps everything in memory, but what Windows does these days is it writes a copy also to disk as it would when it was hibernating, but still lets you shut down, and it keeps the copy in memory. But if it loses power, for example, and then starts up, it goes, "Oh, I've just been hibernating," and it reads the hibernation file and comes back up. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get the fast restore from sleep, but you get the ability to recover from a power failure, which you wouldn't otherwise. But as far as I remember, that writing the hibernation file occurs some time after the PC's gone to sleep. It may even wake up to do it, I'm not sure. And it could well be at that point where stuff is getting upset, and if it is, then I won't find out until tomorrow morning. I am hoping that it was just this software, mapping software, and that is no longer an issue. Otherwise I may end up having to use another piece of software. I mean, if it's... So I was thinking then that hopefully OBS is still happy with things, and if it's not, then I may have to use a different piece of software for the alerts, capture, well, not software, but a different capture methodology, rather than using sort of the inbuilt capture, just so that I can get the audio out through another channel. Okay, well we're moving quite rapidly with this. Better make sure you put the dots down properly, otherwise they'll drop off if they're not securely down. Occasionally you put one down, you don't actually lay it flat, it's up at an angle against a dot next to it, and when that happens that's when it can get brushed off more easily. Usually a firm downward pressure causes the dot to slide into the correct place. I may even need to get some more dots out. Well, there's a fair few left. That is one thing that there's always been sufficient, and I've done a few of these kits now, and there's always been sufficient dots. I've not gone sort of overboard with packets and packets and packets, but there's sort of been, you know, several thousand, I guess, spare in each of the colours that I've done in the kits. Oops. Helps if you pick up a dots out again. I blame chat, you see. If I wasn't talking to chat, I'd be concentrating more on what I'm doing. Yeah, that slight click occasionally, that's is quite literally me just pushing down on one of these dots and it's just sliding off the edge of another one that it was resting on. In other words, I didn't place it properly the first time. The slight pressure down makes it slip into the correct place. Well, Wolfie, if you're listening, I didn't make any popcorn last night in the end. As I was moving, shall we say, out of the studio here, I noticed a bag of peanuts, salted peanuts, or more specifically KP salted peanuts, and I like them as well. And they were easier to eat than the worst making the popcorn, so I had the salted peanuts. Tonight it's probably going to be carrot cake. So there'll be no popcorn tonight either. Oh, bother. Well, upending the tray on the desk is not the most ideal way of doing this. But for the moment, rather than picking them up, I'm going to pick them up. I'm going to do it one at a time with a tool. That way I don't do the job twice. Then there will be some I'll have to sweep off in the end, but I don't recommend pouring them all over the desk, they get everywhere. Even when you don't intentionally do it, or when you just drop a few, it's surprising where you find them. They get all over the place, as I just mentioned, I guess. A fair few of those in there are damaged from the point of view of, not from them spilling, but just from the moulding process. Where two of them are stuck together, and therefore, they might separate if you tried hard enough, but it's just not worth the effort of doing that, because there's loads more in the pack. Let's get a few more out. I think that might do. Grey one's got loose over there. Okay. I don't have a great big area left to do, so I'm not going to get a whole tray of them out. Okay, right, well, human pick and place machine. Magic dots. Also called diamond dots, but the diamond dots is probably the originator, shall we say. Magic dots, or cross dots, cross stitch with dots. These sorts of things, I guess, are the clones, especially given the price of the diamond dots kits compared with these like this one. Significant difference. I don't know what the quality of the diamond dots is like, whether it's the same as this or better or worse. Not bought one to find out. They're somewhat more expensive, and I really wasn't wanting to pay that much for these kits. One thing you can't do, which is a pity that I've found anyways, you can't buy the dots on their own. It would be good if you could get like a piece of canvas like this which has been coated in glue, but no sort of numbering or anything on it, and then you could buy the dots in your own colours, and that way then you could make up any picture you like. It kind of would be an interesting thing. And I mean, all of these dots are in rows and columns, but I don't think it's actually that necessary that they're maintained in that way. So if you sort of, you know, as long as you filled in an area, I guess it wouldn't really matter much. Ladybug! Hello! How are you? I haven't seen you for a while. Thank you very much for that, by the way. Where did I get it? On Amazon. Amazon.co.uk in this particular case. If you look for diamond dots, you'll find the clowns. So if it's £25, you're looking at the wrong thing. If it's about £2 or £3, you're looking at the right thing. It's a clown. But this has got plastic on it at the moment.
I don't know that one.
I do. So it's not quite as sparkly as it would be, but why do you keep perking up, young lady?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think they sort of do. Miss me. Yeah, I kind of wonder where you were. I've seen you. I think I've seen you odd times around, but yeah, not seen you for a while. I've now been back streaming since April. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 7 months. Yeah. Well, I think they're an interesting thing. They're a nice, relaxing thing to do. And I've done 3 of them now, I think. I've done 3 and this is the 4th. This is the biggest one. A lot of the ones you see will be things like maybe you'll have a picture of a cat and it'll be the eye which you fill in, or it might be a lion where the background is all printed but the lion is you do the dots. This is the first one I've done where the whole sheet is complete dots. And the others have sort of taken about 2 to 3 hours to do. This so far has taken about 15 to 20 and it's only half done. Oh, that sounds like a good move. Claire, that sounds like a good move. Somebody who doesn't let you do, who makes you not do things. So if you negotiate or you decide between you not to do things, but somebody not letting you do things, not a good idea. So I've just filled in all the black. That's taken about 4 hours or 5 hours. No, it's probably longer than that just to do the black. So the next thing is to pick another colour that I've got left to do. I don't really want to start on the white just because it's another big area. Maybe if we do, I don't know, number 2. Yeah, number 2. Okay, colour number 2. So other than that, how are things going generally, Clay? I'm going to throw them away. Oh. Number 2 is open. that means when I last did number 2, I missed a whole load around the top here. Ah, okay. I don't know if your friend is skillful, but you don't need a lot of skill to do this. You do need to be able to place dots, and reasonably accurately, because they stick as soon as you put them down, and they don't move very easily, and they're not that easy to get off if you put them in the wrong place. So I'm still doing all the same stuff and more since I started streaming again, and I'm in a new studio. You may or may not notice that, a brand new studio, which is I've got a whole room, not just a small square, the bit that you could see with the camera. I've got a whole room which has got lots of stuff in it, but it's a whole room. And I've been doing some glass engraving on stream, like this. I need something black inside here to show it off, but upcycling a coffee jar, we did, and this one's sort of a sea theme, so I've got a seahorse. Haven't done anything on that side yet. An angelfish. And a piece of strand of seaweed or two. I really like this because when you look at it, it really looks 3D here. Because you can see this going over the top of that. And I've done some airbrushing as well on stream. Finally, here in the new studio, I have the ability to do, or the space to do airbrushing. So we've done at least three pictures with airbrush. You've missed out quite a bit, really. Finished carving Ruth the Dragon. Started doing this. Started building a 3D printer. Lots more pyrography, more chainmail. What else? Ooh. Sure, I've done something else, and I can't remember now. I did some electronics on stream one day just because I needed to finish it, and streaming it seemed like a good idea that I could do two things at the same time. So I made a doorbell. What? No. Oh, wait. Hello, Wolfie. How are you? What? Wait, no, what? You have to remember, I see your message 30 seconds after I said whatever it is you're reacting to. You are looking at history. Don't know if you no message I went live. Don't know why. I went live. Actually, I didn't tweet, but you don't follow me on Twitter, so I don't know why Twitch didn't tell you. And Clary, you might remember Super Speedy. He was around at the same time. So Wolfie, Clary Bug is in stream. Clevy, was it? Excuse me, because my memory. I'm an old man. Were you doing the? Was it you that was doing the paper cutting? You're gonna get your cards. Yes, Wolfie there is way into Hearthstone. I don't know, it's starting to sound like an obsession to me. I was thinking about starting another pyrography tomorrow if I get a chance, Wolfie, to prepare. I know I'm going to have another really busy day tomorrow, and I may not have time to prepare for pyrography. But if I do, I was thinking about maybe doing... Well, actually, I can think of another piece that I might want to do first. But otherwise, I might do another Hearthstone card. Given that I just finished carving Ruth the Dragon, maybe... I mean, Ruth is a more friendly dragon than these are, but I might do another card. Yeah, I'll have to take one, but yeah, I can do that, Wolfie. In fact, I guess what I ought to do is take one and put it on Instagram. So. I shall do that after the stream. Is that a number? Yes, that is a number 2. And if it isn't, it's going to be anyway. And I shall do my best not to forget this time. I ended up last night, Wolfie, not having popcorn. As I closed down the stream, I spied on my desk a bag of peanuts, salted peanuts, KP salted peanuts, and it was a choice. Go spend 10 minutes or more making popcorn, or 10 seconds opening the bag of peanuts, and the peanuts won. So I didn't end up making popcorn last night. And I probably won't do it tonight either, because I think tonight I'm going to have... I've got some carrot cake, so I shall have that, I think, tonight. Now I'm going to do this upside down, because I want to get down here. Yeah. The food in hand beats twice as much in the kitchen. To misquote a quotation. No time is going on tonight. I finished the black in here, by the way. You can't really see it at the moment, but the whole of the face now is filled in with black. So we're getting closer to finishing this. I do say closer, not close. There's still probably at least a third to a half of it left to do. Let's get some more of these out. Number 2. Is that? No, that's number 2. That's number 2. So what have you been up to today, Wolfie? Okay, since I've just spotted them. There's 2 number 2s all the way over there. Let's put those in. Whilst I can see them there. Sorry, I don't speak Dutch. Not even well enough to sort of guess at what that says. Came out of a rainbow, and then chatting with a friend about some hamster. Now what he can... Okay. Not sure about the rainbow bit, but chatting with a friend about Hearthstone and how he can change his deck. Okay, well, I hope you had a good day. Yeah, like what you should. Yeah, no, I gathered that. Yeah. I eventually spent most of today tidying things and throwing things away. I've only got about another 4 or 5 days of doing that to do. Then maybe I may be able to get back to doing something else like playing games. Oh, Rainbow is a different game. Okay, well that makes more sense then. You play it on the weekend. Ah dear. Are you? Is this kind of? I'm playing Rainbow, therefore it must be Sunday. That is a game I've not heard of. What's that a game about? Or I'm potentially guessing it's a card game, but I could be completely wrong. In fact, I'm likely to be completely wrong. You play nights. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's the weekend. Yeah, I'm playing this, therefore it's the weekend. I've kind of been thinking about getting the steering wheel out and the pedals, and maybe playing a couple of games. Euro Truck or American Truck Simulator. But I may just leave that until Christmas. Especially thinking about it, at Christmas there'll be a Christmas event, so that might be a good one to leave until Christmas. Where's the shooter? Oh, okay. Oh, the SWAT game. Okay. Well, there's lots of games, and you don't always see them all. Yeah. I was right, you see. It's Sunday, therefore Rainbow. Oh, Rainbow Six. Now I know. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Now I know. I know it. With you shortening it is. I didn't realise. Not played it. I've watched it occasionally, but I've not played it. But. Yeah, I don't tend to play. I guess it would be a good idea to play games on schedule. I mean, for the same reason why. Which one's BF? HSN is Hearthstone. I'll know it as soon as you say it, but until you do, I can't actually recall what it is, and I'm going to kick myself when you do tell me. Battlefield, that's it. Thank you. I tend to play games until I get tired of playing games, or well, not even too frustrated sometimes, because then I'll just walk away for a while and come back. But I do tend to play games for an awfully long time, not continuously, you know what I mean, with a spare time allows. But I'll play it for 2 or 3 weeks every night, and then change to something else, and then play that for weeks, and then change to something else. I don't tend to play, like. It's Monday, I'm going to play this game. It's Tuesday, I'm going to play that game. Kind of potentially, I guess, should, because it sort of forces you to play the different games, doesn't it? Kind of like why I broadcast, because it means that I actually get to do art, or something art related, creative related, which I probably wouldn't do otherwise. When if you remember when I was streaming a long time ago. I kind of did a week at a time, didn't I? So I did a week of one, and if I had finished it or not, I'd move on to something else and come back. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's no point in forcing yourself to play a game, just because it's Wednesday. If you start forcing yourself, it's not fun anymore. I have considered this evening, because we're starting late, even actually streaming again. But it would have to be without that camera, or with any camera at all. Actually, I guess streaming a game, just because the PC's over there, and I'm not going to remove all the cameras. Plus, I don't have a green screen, so A face cam takes up an awful lot of space when you do that. You quit League of Legends? Yeah, I've heard of League of Legends. Like a big World of Warcraft. I watched some of that as well. I kind of find a lot of those don't seem to have a purpose. It's fighting because it's fighting. It's an end in itself. Not really fantastically interested in those. It's like, I guess it's like quite a few of the multiplayer games these days. You've got some where you've got the campaign, and once you've done the campaign, you're then into multi-user and PvP, and I kind of lose interest. In fact, I kind of lose interest in the game when you're forced into groups or forced to have other players. There was an adventure game I played once that was online, and for certain things you had to play as a group, and I really could not be bothered. I did in the end because I wanted to do the game and finish the game, and I sort of tagged onto a group that were currently doing that area, but I don't like to be in the middle of a group of people doing these things. I like to take my time and look around, and when you're in a group they always want to rush ahead and things like that. Yeah. Yeah. I can understand that. I know what, well, I was thinking what I ought to stream at some point, just for the fun of it, is I have a couple of simulators. They are remote control simulators. One is for powered models, and the other one is for gliders. And I fly them using a proper remote control unit. And maybe just for the fun of it, I ought to try streaming one or both of those one of these times. Maybe I'll do that at Christmas. There's no purpose to it other than what you want to. There's no game as such. It is literally a simulation to help you learn how to fly and practice things. And maybe I'll stream that just for the fun of it. Not necessarily all that interesting when you're learning or trying to hover. There's not a lot goes on, but as time allows, Wolfie, as time allows, I really don't mind. It'd be fun to do, but it's as time allows, I'm afraid. I don't have a lot at the moment. Just real life. There's a lot of stuff going on in real life at the moment, which is I'm kind of like when I'm working, it's come home from work, make a meal, start the stream, finish the stream, do a little bit of housekeeping, if you like, in terms of checking the mail, doing the bills, then go to bed, then start again the next day. And even the weekends at the moment are like today. I spent the whole of today sort of tidying and throwing things from 9 o'clock this morning through till 5 o'clock tonight, actually 5:30. and then it was make tea, start the stream. Oh, I know you didn't say today. I'm just sort of explaining, you know, why it's difficult at the moment. I really would like to play it. I do enjoy playing. I have enjoyed playing Skyblock maps. I've played the older Skyblock maps, not the newer ones. So with the equivalent exchange, I've played those quite a few times. I've not played any of the new Skyblock maps, but I have watched them. And I quite enjoy playing them, so yeah, I'd look forward to it. I'm just not sure when that would be possible, that's all. I kind of didn't want you to feel like I was putting you off just to put you off. If I didn't want to play, I'd say I don't want to play, but you know, like Hearthstone, there's no point in me playing Hearthstone. I don't have a sufficient interest in it, and yeah, I don't have sufficient interest in it. I'd lose all the time. Losing doesn't bother me, but yeah, not having an interest in it does tend to sort of be a big factor. Right, and now look and see if I can see any more 2 on here, because I obviously missed it the last time when I was doing the number 2. Now there's some down there. I keep catching my hair on this camera and I keep wondering what's going on. Yeah, well, I'll keep you informed, Wolfie, if there's time available. So maybe as we come up to, I don't know, do you have a job, if you can call it that. I will be on holiday the week before Christmas. So I don't know if you are, during the day that is, so I don't know if you will have any time around then. There's a possibility. I literally don't know what I'll be doing at this moment in time around then. And I don't know what Lady Zara may have in mind. But that's probably the most likely time at the moment. First play your game. I will try. I will try. Okay, so you do have some. So there'll be some time then, perhaps. Well, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's total guesswork at the moment. I know, for example, Lady Zara likes to have Christmas dinners, lots of them. So we often, for example, will go to a local restaurant, or there's actually 2 or 3 places around here that serve a Christmas dinner. So we sometimes spend quite a bit of time eating. So that's that area number 2 there. Any more number 2 around this place? Yeah, that's kind of right. You're not married. Well, wait till you're married and say that again. Take that 22 and remove one of the digits. You might have a better idea. And a Christmas dinner is more than 2 hours. Well, actually, no, you're probably about right there. 2 hours for a Christmas dinner. Right. Do I get another number out? So we could go for number 7, or we could go for the letter A. The letter A is number 9. Let's do a few more. Let's do a few more. Let's see what we've got. Number 9. Where's my scalpel? Oh, it's over there. I was using it earlier to get into hard disk drives. I was destroying half a dozen drives. Well, making it extremely difficult to recover the data off them, shall we say. Not exactly destroying them. In fact, I did rescue a few of the platters. So if you've never seen a disk drive, a hard disk drive, these came out of a hard disk drive. Hey, they're different sizes as well. These came out of more than one hard disk drive because they're different sizes. Whoa! They are shiny. And they are dead smooth because they stick together just by the fact that there's no air between them. That's how flat they are. But yes, these are out of finger marks all over them now. Out of a hard disk drive. I'm kind of wondering what I could do with them. I mean, there's the classic put a clock mechanism in the middle, but nah, I don't know. I could paint them with transparent paint, and I could get. I've got some. We'll probably get some window paint, which is transparent. So I could always sort of make images on them, and them being really shiny, then they'd reflect through. They'd need polishing again. Get rid of the finger marks. Well, hello, camera. But there. These things spin, what was it, 7,200 revolutions per minute, and these are heavy actually as well. They're weigh, relatively speaking, they weigh quite a bit. Those four together certainly weigh, and in a disc, at least one of the discs I took about, there were four platters like this. Oh, they're all the same. And that weighs a fair bit, so the motors don't have to spin those things. In the meantime, you're editing your video. Oh, okay. Here I am talking about interesting things and you're editing a video. I'm doing number 9, which is A. So letter A. Wherever there's a letter A, there's lots of letter A's. Start here and keep going. It's nice to do some of the lighter colours for once. Yeah, no, I don't know. I sort of looked at them and thought I could maybe use these for something, which is why I took them out rather than just sort of bending them and thoroughly sort of making them less usable. But the clock's kind of a classic thing. People did that with CDs, and I kind of like to do something different. And given that they're so shiny, kind of would like to do something. That's why I was thinking about the paint. Bit difficult to use sort of normal paint because it's too runny, and it takes ages to dry. You have to hold it dead flat, and it takes ages to dry. You can get window paint, which, not surprisingly, you can paint on windows, and it's a lot thicker and it doesn't run, but it is transparent, so it works like a sun catcher, so you get colours through, like a stained glass window might be, without actually using stained glass. And I was thinking maybe putting something like that on there, but it's a circular disc. I don't know. I really don't know. I'll have to see if I can come up with some ideas. But for the meantime, they can sit on my desk until I think of something to do with them. Oops. So focused on putting these in the right place that I don't always pick one up. I only noticed it when I come to try and put down a non-existent dot. Tend to. I noticed that time I hadn't picked one up. Okay, well, for anybody watching, this has been called Magic Dots. It is a clone, I gather, of something called Diamond Dots, and the reason it's called Diamond Dots is because I believe the reason why it's called Diamond Dots, because I don't actually know, is these little plastic dots that I'm putting down have they're dome shaped, and the top of the dome is faceted, rather like a diamond would be, so it sparkles like a diamond might. And my guess is that's why the original is called Diamond Dots. So all I am doing is placing these little plastic dots on the right letter. Bit like painting by numbers without the paint, and but with the numbers. So I'm just using a different kind of paint, I guess. but it's quite an easy thing to do. And the hardest bit about it is getting, placing the dots accurately. And it's fun, obviously, to see a picture gradually build up. I mean, you can see the picture all the time, but with all the numbers on it, it's not as easy to see as you might think. But as you gradually cover all the dots up, the picture sort of emerges as a sparkly whole, which is really rather interesting to see. A lot of the kits that you get are somewhat quicker to deal with than this one. They don't have as many dots. This one, the whole picture is dots, and many other kits, only a small area of it will be. Like for example, what we did relatively recently was of a lion on the African plain, I guess, and it was just the lion. The rest of the picture was printed, but not with dots. I think that took about 3 or 4 hours to do. This one, 20 hours, I'm guessing at least so far. And of course, if you are at all interested in a thing like this, one thing to bear in mind, and you might like the diamond dots. I found the kits were really expensive, which is why I'm not doing them. They might be worth it, I don't know, I haven't got one. I came across these clones which were a lot cheaper, and that was what made me choose to do it. But if you go looking for these, be careful, in that what you often see advertised is the high resolution picture before they pixelated it in order to make the squares, if you like, for the dots to go in, and they don't show you the picture done, and they don't show you the thing, like this prepared canvas before any of the dots go on it, and you get a full sense of what you're going to get if you're not careful with that like that. It's a bit like the difference between sort of somebody showing you a game from 2017, I don't know, Destiny 2, ultra high resolution, showing it in 4K, ultra high resolution, beautiful graphics, everything else like that. But then what you get is something like an old 8-bit sprite image, because it's been pixelated into the dots. And if you're not aware of that, then you might be disappointed in that you didn't get this 4K image. And obviously I'm making up the numbers, but just to give you some sort of idea as to sort of the difference. So when you go, if you're interested, go looking for these, look for the ones that show you either the canvases printed with all the numbers on it, which will give you an idea, or one that's done, with all the dots on, so you can see what it looks like completed, rather than the original high resolution image, which is completely misleading. And it looks like that. I have seen the high resolution image for this. It looks like that, but if you stand 20 feet away, it looks like that, because you're that far away, you don't see the detail. When you come close to it like this, it's somewhat different. But this in itself, with it being large enough, it's still a nice image even close up. And when it's sparkling, and you're looking at it as though you're about 6 feet away, by the way. Just an artifact to the way the camera works, even though it's about 18 inches. You can sort of see it looks a really nice image. I guess you could say you're seeing that in about 1000 by 720, but but it's not. I don't know how many dots are on this, but that's just one thing to watch out for. It's okay as long as you know what you're getting, or you know what to expect. As I say, if you expected the photograph-like picture that you sometimes see, and sometimes they'll show you sort of something, they'll show you the picture on the wall, and when you see it on the wall, it looks about 4 feet corner to corner, and it probably is, and that will have been a poster. It's not this; it's the image, but this is smaller, not 4 feet. It's to be just be a little bit wary. Wouldn't want you to be disappointed in getting something. So if you stick to a supplier that will show you the actual dot image, then at least for your first ones, then you know what to expect, and you can make your own choices for later on. Okay, we've done some more on that. I'm going to stop at this point. It's 9 PM in the UK here, and that's about when I normally stop, and I've completely finished a little section there, so it's a convenient place to do so. So I'm going to close the stream for this evening, but first, there's always adverts, and this is no exception. Only I get to do the adverts for me before Twitch take over and do their own. I know what I'm going to advertise. I have no idea what they're going to advertise. Probably a game of some kind. Down the bottom right, there's all the URLs. Zaragonart.com is my own website. Work in progress. Idea behind it is it will tell you a little bit more about the crafts like pyrography, what it is, and a little bit more just about it, and about the pieces, why I did the pieces, or the inspiration behind the pieces, or what the piece is about. And it's the same for the pyrography, the scraper board, the carving, or the jewellery. That's 4. I'm missing one. Whatever the 5th one is. I can never remember them. I did write them down on an envelope once, but I can't find the envelope. The 2 social media sites down there, of course, Facebook and Twitter. Facebook is good for the longer posts. Twitter is good. I know they've lengthened it recently, but Twitter is good for the short messages. Always tweet, not always. I try and tweet when I go live, and if I can't go live for any reason, I will tweet that as well, just so that you've got an indication of whether the stream's going to happen or not. And if I'm going to try a new image or a new craft, I might tweet about that as well. Otherwise, not a fantastically prolific tweeter. So I'm kind of safe in that respect. And what I do tweet will have some relevance to the stream. And of course, we've got youtube.com there, /Zaragonart. I'm gradually uploading all the Twitch archive. I've already uploaded 358 videos of past broadcasts. How many I did up to the end of 2016? 358 broadcasts. I think I've missed the odd some, so there's more than that actually I did. There's certainly more than, I think there's more than 365. Some have gone missing for some reason. Some didn't get recorded and got lost. And some of the early ones, before I realised that OBS back then wasn't automatically recorded. And I still occasionally forget to turn it on now. But they're all gradually being uploaded. I'm going to start shortly with 2017. Upload those. There was 81. There's now about 85 videos. So if you'd like to see any of those, they're all going on there eventually. And the shop that says zaragonart.etsy.com. I mentioned jewellery. chainmail, ring weaving, bead weaving, pistol work, that's just chain. These sorts of things are available there. If you'd like one, take a look. SoHagenArt.etsy.com. And at the top right, I'm pointing in the right direction. Amazing! I'm getting it right every time now. The two buttons, there's the follow button of course. Let Twitch notify you when I'm alive. When I'm alive. When I go live. Hopefully I'm alive most of the time. Although as Super Speedy indicated earlier on this evening, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe Twitter's a good alternative. And of course I'll be on the following page, so that you get to see me there as well. And if you'd like to consider the subscription button, that would be absolutely fantastic. Subscriptions going towards buying whatever the mediums are, like the wood or the pyrography tools, or whether it's something like this or wood for carving, that's what it all gets used on. I should be live tomorrow evening. I will be going live somewhere between 7 PM and 8 PM UK time. We're going for at least probably an hour, till at least 9 o'clock, and maybe a little bit longer past then, depending just on what's happening, who's on, what we're doing, all these sorts of things. And if I'm not, I will of course tweet. But with that, I hope I'll see you on the stream tomorrow night. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.